Why are you running? Hey, I need you to get out. You need to come out here, put your hands behind your back. You're under citizen's arrest. Hey. So I got resisting, double fleeing charges. All what could have been a verbal warning.
So there's a cop up ahead who just wrapped up a traffic stop. He pulled over the maroon SUV we're going to pass in just a moment for speeding. Because they've set speed traps up, they're checking in on everybody's speeds. So I felt it only appropriate to check on their speed. Now the speed limit on this road is 30 miles an hour, which is why they so often set up speed traps here, because it's a long road that to many people doesn't feel like a 30 mile per hour road. But what I quickly notice, look how far the deputy's pulling away from me. I won't say what my speed was trying to pace him, but it definitely was not 30. And he's going faster than I'm going, considerably. Now I currently have some records requests in to officially get his speed during this time period. But just as they would do to us, I feel like I better pull him over, stop and have a talk, ask him what the rush is. First, I gotta verify he's not going to a call or something like that. Spoiler alert, he's not. I'll probably let him off with a verbal warning this time, but he better not let me catch him doing it again. Now, he's hard to catch up with, and I know there's another one around here somewhere, and I feel like they might be trying to trap me, bait me into speeding through, and the other one can get me on radar, and then they got me. But I do eventually catch up, and here he is pulling over, right where his friends get another traffic stop. Or is he trying to get behind me? I don't know, that's not going to happen. I'm going to turn right here, and then hopefully step out and have a word with him. But he takes off on me. He turns around and goes back the way we came. So obviously I've got to turn around and go back the way we came. When you violated the law, and someone's trying to stop you for it, you can't just take off and get away. That's what they tell us, right? So is it accountability for thee, not for me? It kind of is, but that's our purpose. That's why we do what we do. So we're going to come around the corner here, and he has pulled over to the side of the road, and he's turning around as I find him, parking in the grass. We'll talk to him about his speed and ask him why he took off on me. See what he's got to say for himself.
Why are you running? Look, that's how you get rid of a speed trap. Nice. That's how you do it.
And he's taking off on us again. You heard the passerby comment, nice. But it's kind of like a magic trick. If you want to make a speed trap disappear, just show up with a camera. You have no idea how many clips I have of that happening. And this guy's going below the posted speed limit, so I'm having a hard time catching up. I'm assuming he's going back to his friend with the traffic stop up here, but it appears his attempt to flee and elude, which is a felony for us, by the way, was successful. He continued on or dipped off on a side street, and he really did his partner here dirty by leaving him to answer to me, because I'm going to stop and talk to him and ask him what the other one's name is. So I'm going to let him finish up what he's doing here, and I'll talk to him, see if he can help me identify our fleeing suspect, and maybe he has some idea why he's not following what he's out here enforcing.
I'm not getting in it.
He just locked his doors.
Hey, I just had a quick question. I tried to talk to that other deputy. He pulled somebody over down there.
Yeah.
He's doing the radar enforcement with you.
Yeah.
But he was coming back over here to you.
Uh-huh.
He was going somewhere between 45 and 50 on his way back here, and then he turned around and went back that way.
Okay.
So I was trying to find out who that was, because he's obviously out here enforcing speed, but it applies to him too. So he pulled over again to run radar down there. So I pulled up. As soon as I pulled up, he took off. I guess he knows who I am. Do you know who that was? I just wanted to figure out who that was.
There was like 2 other deputies here in the area, so
Yeah.
or you can always ask and see if you can block cameras and find out who's in the area.
Yeah, I have the vehicle number, and I don't want to. I did it before. Really go through force watching, ABL, and stuff, because I just wanted to talk to the deputy. I'm just obviously the speed limits apply to law enforcement too, right? Right. Yeah. So that was my thing. That was my only thing. I'm like, hey, you write this guy a ticket. Yeah. Right, and that I understand. This time he was only going to set up radar again. Yeah, I know. It's all on dash cam and stuff. I understand if you're going to a call or something, you have to, right? But if you're writing people tickets and then you speed past them and you're not going to a call or something, that gives an above the law kind of perception, And it's,
I don't know exactly what was going on.
I know you can't speak. It wasn't you. So I would just trying to figure out who that was. But, I just tried to have it with a conversation so I don't have to go through public records and all that stuff. So I just wanted to talk to him. That was it. But and then it would end there. But, it is what it is.
Obviously, he knows who that cop is, but he doesn't want to say. Tries to make excuses for him. So we're going to have to do our own investigation, figure out who it is. And we got fleeing and looting charges on the guy. So the next day I go to their district office looking for vehicle number 400099. Now over to my left, I notice a guy sitting in one of the cars who notices me, and then he seems to quickly get out and head for the building. That's suspicious activity if you ask me. You'll see him there, he's heading in. And the vehicle on the right is the one he came from.
Oh, that's him. I thought so.
At this point, I better call in some backups around the building in case he tries to make his escape out a back door or window. But in the meantime, let's look at the tint on his vehicle. Already we can see the windshield here. That's not in compliance with Florida statutes. That line right there is the AS1 line. The tint is below it. I personally don't care, but we're going to find out how many tint tickets he writes. And look at this. This looks kind of dark too. Maybe we'll find he doesn't write tint tickets. But I hope we don't find evidence of hypocritical policing. But in just a few seconds, he's going to come back out. We're going to try to make our apprehension. Remember, we know he's armed and this is a felony, so we got to be careful.
Hey, there you are. Hey, real quick, I tried to stop you for speeding the other day, but you took off on me.
I wasn't speeding.
I was going to let you go with a verbal warning, but I got fleeing and looting charges. Hey, I need you to get up. You need to come out here, put your hands behind your back. You're under citizen's arrest. Hey, there's a fleeing again. I have double fleeing charges on you. So, Forge, I hate to do that to the guy. What's his name?
I got no idea who left. I'll be honest with you.
The one that you walked out the door with.
That'd be Deputy Taylor.
Taylor? Okay. I put in a public records request for it, though, but I got fleeing and looting charges on him. What's your name?
Deputy Risk.
You witness, he just fled from me again, right?
I was awesome. I stuff in my car, man.
Well, if you see him, let him know. He did a traffic stop the other day. He stopped somebody for speed, but then right after that, he was speeding. Right, and he wasn't going to a call or anything. Okay. So I tried to go out with him just to be like, hey, man, you got to watch your speed too. Mm-hmm. And he fled from me. So it was just going to be a verbal warning, but we got fleeing and looting now. And now I just tried to go out with him again, and he fled again. So it was unfortunate. Taylor, you said, right?
Yeah, Deputy Taylor.
I returned a couple days later. I didn't think Taylor would be here, but I want to pass along the information and give a bolo to some of the deputies here to be on the lookout for him and let them know the seriousness of the charges that I've got against him. But I just spotted someone who could possibly be him. Let's see if it is. Better be sneaky.
Hey, what's going on? I was just trying to see who you are. What's your name? Oh, your last name? Oh, okay. You look like somebody else. I just want to pass along information to somebody on I got a felony information like a bolo. I just want to pass on. Somebody drives a white Ford Explorer, looks a lot like this one. Person's name Taylor, last name Taylor. I tried to stop him for speeding the other day, right? And you stop somebody, you do a traffic stop or whatever, and they do that trick as soon as you start walking up, they take off on you. Well, that's what he did. I was going to give him a verbal warning for speeding. So I came here yesterday, or the other day, and I was like, hey man, I was just trying to give you, a verbal warning. He jumped in that car and sped off. I told him, hey, you're under citizen's arrest. You got to stop, put your hands behind your back right now. They've escalated this to felony level. I just want to give him a verbal warning for speeding. Because he was giving people speeding tickets. I want to pass the information on to you too. I just was giving like a bolo information to him. I tried to stop somebody for speeding yesterday. It's a vehicle just like this, but it has different numbers, 40099. It was last week. I tried to stop him for speeding, right? Yeah. I was going to give him a verbal warning. He didn't know that. And as I walked up to the car, he bolted on me, man. He took off.
12F.
12F. He went, yeah. He fled. So I tried to come out with him here. I saw him here yesterday or the day before, whatever it was. And I was like, hey, man, you took off on me. You escalated that to an unnecessary level. I was going to give you a verbal warning. And he's like, I wasn't speeding. He jumped in the car. I said, hey, you're not free to go, man. Come here. You got to step out of the car. And he took off again. I had a witness over here, too. So I got resisting, double fleeing charges. All what could have been a verbal warning. It was ridiculous, man.
So I've passed along the bolo. A couple of cops here have the information. Surely they'll apprehend them if they spot them. But in all seriousness, police are looking over the people to make sure you're following the rules. In this case, it happens to be speed. And they're writing you tickets or taking your money. So there are consequences for the people that sometimes cause hardships. But if they stop you and you decide to just take off on them because you don't want to be held accountable, now you've got felony charges. And when he took off the second time, you heard what he said, just very quickly, I wasn't speeding, and he got in the car and took off again. Well, you can't tell a cop that you weren't speeding and just leave. Everything's going to be fine. They will tell you, well, we're not going to argue that here. We'll argue it in court. But right now, I say you were, and what I say goes. And they are not used to people policing the police. And that's what we're doing. We're reminding them that the rules that they enforce apply to them too, regardless of how they may feel. But Deputy Taylor is a perfect example of the common mentality. I don't have to face accountability for what I've done. I'm the police. And why do many of them have that mentality? Because they can. How many people are policing the police? How many people are holding them accountable? How many people are actually watching and paying attention and then trying to confront them about it? Not enough. That's the issue. So while some of this might seem comical, it's serious. I'm being totally serious in doing this. There's way too much hypocritical policing, and we can't allow it. We are the boss. The people. They obey us, not the other way around. So if we refuse to answer to them, we take off, it's a felony. Why is it acceptable when they do it to us? Like I mentioned, I have some public record requests already in. We will see exactly how fast he was going. We will see how many speeding tickets he writes. And also that tint. We're going to check out how many tint tickets he writes, if any. Hopefully I'll be able to say, hey, at least he doesn't write tint tickets when he's driving around with illegal tint himself. In the meantime, if you do spot Deputy Taylor, do not approach. We do know he's armed, and we obviously know that he will flee. He's a runner. So stay tuned. Share your thoughts. There's so much more to come. Twisted luck. I'll see you soon.